Hey guys, Lucas Jeffries, Jeffries Property Group, and today we're going to talk about the 3 reasons that we've found properties don't sell. So the first, and the elephant in the room, is price, your pricing strategy. So a lot of agents will use pricing strategies such as contact agent or expressions of interest, and we've found these to be ineffective in a market where our buyers are time poor and they want access to information straight away. 66% of buyers in a realestate.com study about a year ago stated that not having a price advertised on a home that they were looking at, or a block of land, or residential property, was one of their biggest frustrations. And quite often, if people don't have access to information straight away, they'll simply move on to the next property that fits their criteria. The other problem that we see with pricing strategies is real estate agents, if they've overpromised in a listing presentation and then they've set the price too high for the market, they won't get the levels of buyer activity and competition that they actually need to generate competitive offers and get the property sold for the best possible price. And because they've overpromised in a listing presentation, quite often they'll take too long to deliver the feedback that they need to their owner, that the pricing strategy isn't in line with what the market's prepared to pay. And realistically, your first 3 to 4 weeks on the market are when you're going to get the maximum levels of exposure. And if you're not making those necessary adjustments within the first 3 to 4 weeks on the market, when it really is your maximum levels of exposure, buyer activity, buyer excitement, you could be missing some really strong opportunities with buyers that go on and purchase something else because they're not prepared to engage at the levels that you're advertising. But it doesn't have to be all about price, and quite often it's not. The second key reason that we find is ineffective promotion. Now, what do I mean about ineffective promotion? Well, really there's 2 key ways to advertise a property. The first is the avenue that you're most used to, and that's a reactive approach to selling property. What I mean by a reactive approach is your traditional put an ad up on realestate.com, put an ad in the paper and wait for buyers to come to you. And that's how we find the majority of the industry advertises property. What we do is we take a proactive approach. Obviously you need to be on realestate.com domain, you need to be out there when buyers come looking. But our proactive approach actually takes data and analytics, and it profiles who your likely buyer is going to be through their online behavior. And then we take your ad and we push it out to these buyers. So rather than waiting for them to come to us, we actually go out to them. And if we combine that level of proactive marketing with reactive marketing, that's how we're going to get the levels of competition that we need in order to generate hopefully multiple offers, and then we can negotiate with those offers to get you the best possible price as the homeowner. And the third and final reason that we find properties don't sell is ineffective process. So like we talked about before, a no pricing strategy versus a pricing strategy can be 2 different types of process. If you've got buyers who are time poor and they want access to information straight away, then a pricing strategy is the most appropriate way to go. But there are other elements of process that are really important, little 1%ers that don't get talked about in a half-an-hour listing presentation that can actually be the key difference between the agent that's going to deliver you that extra 10% when it comes to your sale price, or the agent that actually costs you 10% because of their inefficiencies. Just one of these elements that we really focus on at Jeffries Property Group is we take all offers in writing in contract form to present to our vendors. Wherever possible, we avoid verbal offers. And the reason that we do that is, number one, we want to show our clients, our vendors, that the buyers who we're bringing to them and the offers that we're bringing to them are legitimate and committed. And the second reason that we do this is if those buyers have committed to a written contract, they've become emotionally involved with the process of purchasing that property. So when we have to go back to those buyers and ask them for more money, it's a very different conversation versus if they've simply provided a verbal offer, because they've had that emotional commitment. So when we go back to them with a countersigned offer from our vendor asking for that extra $20,000 or $30,000, the chance of getting that higher price versus just calling them over the phone and saying, hey, our vendor will sell to you, but they want an extra $20,000 or $30,000, it's a completely different conversation, and the likelihood of achieving the higher price is much more when we run that process of written offers. So they're the 3 key reasons that we've found properties not to sell. If you feel like your property could sit within one of these 3 categories and needs a little bit of attention, reach out to us. We would absolutely love to help out.